Hello and thank you for tuning in to this on-demand video. I am Ollie Theocaris, Head of Content for WFA. We at Women in Food and Agriculture are delighted to announce the launch of our new mentorship scheme. In this talk today, we're going to run through what the mentorship scheme involves, why we produced it, how you can get involved, and what benefits there are to being involved in some way.
So firstly, we see mentoring as more senior people in the industry of food and ag supporting more junior members of the community. So when we conducted our Women in Food and Agriculture survey last year, we had over 2,000 respondents. 75% of women who completed the survey said that our industry's lack of mentors was a significant barrier to progression. That was something that really rang true with us, as we're constantly hearing that the best way to support underrepresented groups in our industry, including women at a senior level, is to encourage mentorship. We're also finding, by speaking to people in our industry, that the majority of mentoring that currently exists in food and ag is actually within companies where the mentor and the mentee are both within the same organisation. While this is fantastic and can lead to some really positive outcomes, we've seen that this actually creates barriers for others who aren't in this certain situation. So the sorts of people that it might provide barriers for are people like those who don't necessarily have someone to look up to in their organisation of their race or their gender, so they don't want to be mentored by people who aren't like them. Also, if you are in a standalone role, you might not feel there's anyone that you can look up to in your organisation. You might not have an organisation around you, you might be working independently. So there are quite a few situations where we find that people don't have those opportunities, and we want to remedy that. So the WFA Mentorship Scheme aims to pair off mentors and those who want to be mentored, who we call mentees. And we aim to support women from a range of backgrounds around the world to develop their careers in food and ag. We are looking for women who want to be mentored and people of all genders who will act as mentors, as we don't feel that we necessarily have to limit it when we're looking for mentors. Participants will have to dedicate a small amount of time every month to take part in the scheme. There'll be more on this later on in the talk. And we do really believe that this scheme is going to benefit both parties, that both the mentors and the mentees can get a lot out of it. So we hope as many of you take part as possible. So how will the scheme operate? We initially are looking to bring together 20 pairs of mentors and mentees. And that's from all across food and ag, and again, operating globally. What we want the mentors to do is to fill in a short form. We're going to be putting this form on the WFA website and sending it around to all participants in the event and the wider WFA community. By filling in this form, you're putting yourself forward to be a mentor for someone in our industry. The deadline for mentors to apply is going to be Friday, the 22nd of January, so do get your forms in before then. Then, in February, we are going to upload all of the information about all of the potential mentors onto our website. Mentees will then have 2 weeks to apply to be mentored by different people who they see on our website. They can apply for more than one person if they wish, and hopefully we will have lots of people involved with the programme. So at this point, we will either select a mentee for the mentor, or if we have lots of people applying for a particular mentor, we may put to them a short list of people. And after this, once we have the partnerships selected, we will create introductions. We're going to be offering support and guidance to all of our pairings. We're going to do this through a number of training sessions and roundtables for the mentor, all of the mentors and all of the mentees. And we also hope that we actually can create an opportunity for these pairings to meet at the WFA face-to-face event in 2021. So I know one of the big questions that you're probably all thinking, and we always get asked when we're creating these sort of programs, is how much time will I have to dedicate to it? So the answer is there is a lot of flexibility here. We are proposing a minimum of one monthly 30-minute to 1 hour meeting. So that means that you're looking at not too much time every month. On top of that, we're looking at quarterly meetings that will support the mentors and mentees, as I mentioned previously. So these may be training sessions or roundtables where everyone can come together and talk about what they're learning and what they need support with. So if you kind of package that all together, we're looking at an average of about an hour every month, which equates to only 15 minutes a week. We've structured it this way because we want even the busiest people in our industry to be able to get involved and spare that time to be able to join us. However, it's one of those things where I do feel that whatever you put into it, you will get out. So it might be that you feel that you need more time with the partnership as a mentor, and you want to be able to dedicate a bit more energy into the partnership and the support that you're giving. That's absolutely fine as well, but we're leaving that decision to be made by the partnership, and then they can lead on that front. So what are we looking for in a mentor? One of the key things we really want to stress with our mentors is you do not have to be a CEO to be a mentor. We would recommend that the mentors have some managerial experience, line management experience. Doesn't have to be in food and ag, but the aim here is just to find someone who can offer guidance and has experience, that can suggest things and offer solutions to a junior person in our industry. We're looking for someone who is a good listener, because that is a really important aspect of being a mentor. You need to be able to understand the problems that your mentee is facing, and also an honest and open person who's willing to share their expertise and experiences. That's so important, as otherwise the partnership just won't work. We're asking that all of those involved have more than 1 year's experience in the food and ag sector, as we're looking at creating you're going to be offering industry advice to this person, and we think that that experience is important. You need to be able to dedicate the time to take on this role. We mentioned previously how much the minimum amount of time is. That's 1 hour a month. So if you can't dedicate that time to the role, then probably it's not for you. We also have no preference on gender, as I said before. Male, female, whatever, we don't mind. We'd love for as many people to get involved with the scheme as possible. And what about looking for a mentee? So we're looking for a good listener, because you're going to be given advice by some really informed people in our industry. You need to be able to listen to them and take that advice on board. We're looking for someone who's honest and open and willing to talk about what where they need help and support from people. So that's another key thing that we're looking for in our mentees. Someone who'd benefit from help and support from a senior person in our industry. If you're doing absolutely fine in your career, you've got a great support network around you, and you don't need to take part, then don't. We want to make sure that we're reserving these opportunities for people who really do need help and support. So make sure that there is something that you're missing and something that you need if you're applying to be a mentee for someone. Can you dedicate the time to this? Just because you're not in a senior role doesn't mean you're not incredibly busy. So you need to make sure that you also can dedicate that minimum of an hour a month to this. And as I mentioned before, it needs to be a woman in the food and ag industry. So that is what we're looking for if you want to be a mentee in the programme. So why should you be a mentor? We appreciate that you're going to have to dedicate some time and energy to this, but we do think that there are many reasons why it would be a benefit to you in your career. The first thing would be that you'll be doing your bit for the WFA community and supporting women in the industry. That for us is fantastic. It's helping us to progress with what we want to do at WFA, and we'd really appreciate the support from you or your colleagues. We think that it allows our people to develop their skills in the area of coaching. This is one thing we hear from people who've been mentors, that actually they've been able to use those skills in other elements, other areas of their life, be it home or work. So there are some really great skills that you can grow here. It may allow you to learn about another part of the industry. Our mentors and mentees do not have to be from the same value chains. So it might give you the opportunity to learn about a new region or a new part of agribusiness and food that you weren't aware of before. People tell us that mentorship has given them the opportunity to reflect on their own development. That's a really interesting point, and I think something that maybe if you're in a very busy senior role, you don't always have the time to do. So this is where being a mentor might be able to help you in your own careers. Developing your own confidence and self-esteem, and that comes from the experience of coaching, but also it's rewarding as well. We hear from lots of people in the industry who've been mentors that the rewarding feeling they get after they've had a good session and helped someone in the industry is fantastic. So if that's not a reason to become a mentor, I don't know what is. Well, why should you be a mentee? For me, there are so many benefits here. One thing that I think I should mention is sometimes you don't always know you need support. However, if you take a step back and think about your career and your role, you could gain support that you didn't know you needed by becoming a mentee and having a mentor in a more senior role. They can give you advice on career progression and how to promote yourself to make sure that you are getting those promotions that you deserve. They can open your mind to new ideas and possibilities, and also help to identify opportunities for you within your own organisation or elsewhere. And importantly, one of the pillars of the WFA community is building connections. So being a mentee to someone means that you can build connections in our industry and allow you to network and broaden the number of people you know across food and ag. So what are the next steps? Application forms for mentors will be available, as I mentioned, so we'll be publicising those across our across all of our channels, so LinkedIn, on the website. One thing I would say is if you do not feel that you're in the right position to be a mentor, please do publicise it far and wide. You might have a colleague who's well placed to do this, for example. We're worried that not enough people will put themselves forward to be a mentor, but we'll have lots of mentees who want that support. So we want as many people who think they have those skills to be a mentor to come forward, so we can make sure that we're supporting as many people as we can. So for the mentees, go to WFA website in February to apply for a mentor. We're going to have everyone listed up there from the start of the month, and you'll be able to look at their backgrounds and see if you want to be partnered with them. Thank you very much for listening. We really hope you take part in this exciting program. And if you have any questions, you can email me on this email address. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the event.